She's spinning that. I want to hear that.
Well, yeah, let me see. I'm gonna get wound up. I just don't know where to start. I just have to hit spots here and yonder.
You were already started. Go back about going over on the plane and what kind it was.
Well, we caught, I think, where was we at? Where was I at? New Jersey?
I think so.
Yeah, I reckon I caught I went to Mississippi. I left to Mississippi and take my basic training. See, it's got to skip down there. It's just, my wife was with me. She stayed down there with me. I wasn't supposed to be.
That.
Huh?
Reagan, stop. Let's start over. Mom, we've about 4 or 5 times to start over and let her start it.
Anyhow, caught this car go C-47, carried us from France to Germany. Officers, they had to have cars, around France, American officers, So we went up there in Germany and picked up those civilian cars, to get anything you wanted up there in Germany, They carried us up there and put me on that C-47, about 7 or 8 of us. I never had rode on a plane. I had sea rationing. That's what food we had in cases. Corner of it, it stacked all across there and had a little old window up the front. And we wasn't on the plane long, but I got up on them sea rationing, laid down and went to sleep. And a little bit it bumped, and I looked up this little old one and we was on the ground. I scared me and I didn't know what was going on. So we go on up there and keep track. Boys all had us a shop up there. We'd bring them cars back in and check them. We were going to drive them back to Paris. And at the war side, we'd do a little walking around. We could hear them shooting up on the front line. So we were back here. The war was still going on at that time.
Go ahead, but it was the war was over before you went over there. You went over there in the refugee.
No, ma'am, I did not do no such of a thing.
I'm glad she's singing. I'm glad she's singing. You sure know.
And you could hear them shooting little, I don't know, 12, 15 miles, but it wasn't quite over with. We were walking down in villages over there. Streets about as wide as, I say 12 feet wide, 2 stores. And so there wasn't nobody on the out, nothing. I mean, we just walking along. We just talking where everybody's at, and a little bit. Up about the 2nd story up there, and here come a bunch of stuff down on us. Must come out of the bathroom. See, they didn't like the Americans at all, see. And they wasn't a soul to be seen.
They poured his waist on.
And over here, he said, damn, if I won't kill somebody. He whirled around, looked up, and the head went back in the window, like that. I said, Ed, don't shoot nobody. And we got them cars. We come on back down. And so this here is just a little bit meanness in out here. But I'm going to tell you what it's done. I don't care who knows because it's done Holyfield anyway. So we got them cars and headed back out. But when we got them ready to go, this old boy drove a 6x6 truck up with gas and all. Get the gas and them cars go back down. And let me see now, we went ahead and we was heading out with him, but old Ed told me here's a buddy from Texas. He said, make out like your car won't run, and said, you go back with me in the truck. Now, you may not want to, you can cut it off, you don't have to go. But anyhow, got ready to go, and them boys, they headed back to France. So we was going to come on behind them. They had gas dumps. About every 50, 100 miles, sometimes 200 miles, you just pull in there. American did. Fill it with gas, but you had the sign for them. we decided we'd go ahead and we picked up some motorcycles. And we was going down this Autobahn. They had an Autobahn like I-20. That's the first Autobahn, or first highway I'd ever seen like this. So we had told them a little bit. He said, and them soldiers, whenever they was on this road, you know, they'd pour gas in the truck and throw them Army 5-gallon cans away. Throw them off on the side of the road. And we come just picking them cans up. And we knew what we was going to do with it when we got back to France anyhow. We got out of Paris there. So we had to have gas for the truck. So we had said, are you going to sign for this gas? I said, no, the truck signed out for you. I said, no, I ain't going to sign for it. We pulled in this dump, filled up, I don't know how many 5-gallon cans. But we didn't neither one have to sign. We headed on out to France, and them other boys way on in ahead of us. We done got close enough where they had enough gas to get on in. And we had to go by over there. We were black market. You know where we could place all this stuff. We pulled up a cafe over there. I mean, it was blacked out. You see a few lights around. It wasn't like we did here. It just, you know, didn't have six there. So Ed, he goes in to see the man. I set in the truck. The MP was just like that. Every time you'd look out, Jeep full of MP. There we was with all that stuff on our motorcycles, the motors. So that little bit of Ed.
The government come get you when you get through showing that.
Oh, Ed, he come back out. He said, let's go. And we got a far that. And we had a 4-wheel trailer on the old 6x6 Army truck, like the Army's got them 6x6. So it was a 4-wheel, it was a German 4-wheel trailer, just one we picked up there. So we come this far in this fella, and we went in a little village over there. Now this is true. And so just before we got where we was going, these villages, there wasn't no town, there's villages. And it's a railroad crossing. That's then holy. Let this hickey up and down, you know, stop the traffic. And they stopped us plumb out of the territory, I mean, plumb out of everywhere with that Army vehicle and everything. So we pulled on out there about 4 years of Hewitt's down yonder. This car turned into this big little fence. Oh, it was high in this field. See you now here. I said, yeah, we get in there. I said, we can't turn that trailer around. This 4-wheel ain't like a trailer, a cattle trailer or something. So you got them 4-wheel and then that truck up there. He said, I've been driving that truck and trailer all my life. And I said, I have too. We pulled in there. They come in unloading that. We went in a big old warehouse. They had, it's like igloo. One in this corner, one on down yonder. And they unloaded that stuff. Went down that igloo and all that ground was hollow. It was like a basement. So got ready to go. Didn't have room enough to turn the trailer around to get out. And that police wasn't no fun to get. We know the police that close. But we got it turned around, hit it back in, and I think we got about $1,100 of money. Well, I sent $100 home. Do you remember that $100?
No.
Well, I did. We sold $1,100 worth
That's when you
of black market
playing
stuff.
cards and losing, wasn't it?
So next night, oh, he had a pretty good card player. He was sharp. And I wasn't all that good. He said, I said, Ed, I'm going to send $100 home. I said, we get in a card game, I won't have nothing to send home. I wasn't making but $21 a month. That's what I made. $21 a month. So I got card game. It wasn't 1 o'clock at night. I didn't have a dime. I done lost all of my money. And old Ed, he said, seemed like he won 200 or 300, and he sent it home. And messed around there then, and I don't know. Well, anyhow, we got chipped out of that outfit then. We didn't get too much trouble there. So they're going to send us. All the war was over with. They getting over with that thing. So they shipped us on up further up in Germany. But we had volunteered to go to the Pacific to get to come home. So you could volunteer over there to go to the Pacific, and they'd give you a delay en route to come to the United States and then go back to the Pacific, you know.
But why? But tell them why, what you going to do when you come back home.
I wasn't going no further. I was going to stay in the United States.
You wasn't going to go on.
I was going AWOL. That's exactly what I fixed. But anyhow, we had to take a physical.
You never know what.
Man, and these 2 old boys from Texas. So we went up and take a physical, and old Ed and myself, we passed it. And this other boy, he didn't pass the physical. So they loaded us up next morning, put us in one of these little old command cars, you know, about like a pickup, you know. Had us on up into Germany, got up there, and it was a tent city. It covered 20 acres or more, nothing tents. Got up there, the orderly room. Old Ed, he got out. He says, Sergeant, said, are we going by the United States before we go to the Pacific? He said, hell no, you're going direct to the Pacific. And so our restroom now was just as wide open as that sod farm over yonder. Didn't have no tent over here. And the highway run along up here about far as here to Hubert. A little closer.
Tell them how close that is because they won't know how close Hubert is. About a quarter of a mile?
Well, say, I guess 700-800 feet.
That's further than Hubert.
Well, it might be and it might not be. But anyhow, we use the bathroom, you know. We just sat out there in the middle of the sunshine, just the toilet. Ah, Lord Albert, I got ashamed. But there wasn't nothing to do about it. And we sit there and look at the cars passing. So they got ready then. They done taking the tents down. They sent us up there in the hangar. I was in there for it. Getting ready to ship us out the next morning. So we was up there and over here asked me, he said, Harper, said, you got any money? I said, I think I got $10 or $15. I think I had it then. It's been long since we had a $20 payment. He said, let me have it. Said, I'll win us some money. So I said, all right, I'll let him have it. We sat down there and that place was covered up with none of these little winding cars. Them bullet holes, the German war had been done there, and there was this bullet hole just like that right there. So about 2 or 3 hours, I got over there and I just laid down on my bunk and decided to go to sleep. And I lay over there and little Eddie go over there. He said, Harper, said, I lost every damn penny we got. I said, well, that's all right. We won't get to spend it nohow in the Pacific, you know. We sat there a little bit when nobody going to everybody, I mean, playing cards and this and that and nothing. So the orderly room, same as the office and all, is, I guess, not like a chicken house. I mean, it's big and long too. Oh, he told me, he said, well, I said, I don't think that I ain't going direct to the Pacific. Do you? I said, no, I don't. I said, what are we going to do about it? He said, come on and go with me.
That's right, don't
So we had to walk about far here to take the cheap wood down there. to the orderly room. We walked in, the first sergeant, when we stepped in that, now this ain't no story, when we stepped in that orderly room, that first sergeant, way in the back in his office. When he looked up, see me and Ed coming, he said, "How far? I'm not going to the Pacific with you boys. Ain't no way y'all gonna go with me." Said, "Get out of here and don't let me see you no more." So me and old Ed, we just made about face, walked out. We was walking back up there. He said, "Reckon we done any good?" I said, "Ed, I don't believe that sergeant don't want me and you to go with him." He said, "Hell, I know it don't." All right. Went on back up there. Might have slept an hour or two, and just about daylight, they blowed the bugle. We got out, lined us all up. First thing it says, "These is the boys that scratched from the shipment, going direct to Pacific." And mine, his was the first two names they called on.
That's a slam on y'all.
I'm just telling the truth about
You
it.
don't want you to be with
That's the reason I said you may not want to turn such as that in. Really?
You may not want them, not, they don't care.
I don't.
That's you.
So, now you got me off my subject. Yeah, it's been so long. But anyhow, they shipped us back down into Germany in a labor supervision, they called it. And had 260 German prisoners. And so the engineers, they did the garden. Our base is up there about, I don't know, half a mile from Nuremberg, Germany. That was the town that was next to it, Nuremberg. So they put us in that labor suit bed. I was a motor sergeant. He was a mess sergeant. And so we was waiting to come home, man. So we didn't have enough points. So we had to have, I've seen like over there so long to have enough points to come home. We had 2 lieutenants. And so we stayed around there, I don't know, several months. And then them boys, there was about 7 of us. And they had each one for an orderly room and this and that and other. So they messed around there and one of them believed that knocked us down, but they still had 2 lieutenants there. First lieutenant and second lieutenant, and they was waiting to come home. And we messed around there, I don't know. And he was a mess sergeant, I was a motor sergeant. So we had to feed these prisoners, but we didn't have to guard them. And the engineers, they had those guard towers on each corner. So we'd go, we had to go on down now. We were on down, I don't know, 100 miles. They had another prison camp where they kept SS troops. That's where when there's too mean to put in where else, you know. Couldn't keep them in just regular prison. They get out. When they get out, they got out of our stockade. It's send them down to the SS troops. And so we had one that got out. Time or two, I didn't call it. They called him, brought him in there. The lieutenant called me and Ed in one day, said, "We're going to have to send that boy to the SS troops." It was about 100 and something miles. And I told Ed, I said, "I don't know where I want to go. He'll get both of us. He's liable to kill both of us before we get out of there." Ed said, we're handling. So when we got in the Jeep, put him in the back. He had left there driving at that time. Well, we had looked at him and he told that interpreter. So he was a German first sergeant. For these 200 and something prisoners we had, he was the interpreter. English he speaking. Well, we had on us lining up what we were going to do to him if he ever made a move. Didn't put no handcuffs on him. He crawled up in that Jeep, and I crawled up on one side, and Ed was driving. We headed to stockade with him down Way on down in Valley, I get the name of it now. And so, he had to say, oh, he'd stop. He said, reckon you gonna try to make a break? And I said, hold on. He had said, I'll shoot him if he does. I said, now, I don't know whether I can shoot him or not. I may let him just keep running. We carried him down there and put him in that stockade. We come on back, and we had those prisoners. Now, this may not, but we wasn't making no money. So, we'd go get meat and all for these prisoners. We had to feed them, and the German prisoners done the cooking. We'd go on down to another place there where they had a big old stockyard, you know, where they kill cows and things. I didn't know nothing about them killing horses and eating horses. So we pulled them down there. We'd pick up truckload of meat. And so it's cooking for us. We didn't have no water, no kitchen there. The German was cooking for us. We'd eat that stockade. We loaded up a load of meat and coming back out, and they come in there with a truckload of horses with their feet sticking straight at it. Bring them in there to have them killed and dressed. So we had looked at me and said, Harper says, I reckon that's what kind of meat we got on here. I said, I don't know, but it's good, ain't it? Yeah. And that's the first horse meat I reckon I ever eaten. But they pull them horses in there. They just have them on a flat bed truck with sideboards on them like a cotton bed. Old horses' feet be sticking up like that.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I am telling the truth, so help me God.
Why
That's just found up. Now you don't tell me I'm a lie now? That's the truth I ever told her.
He's been known to lie. We know, don't we?
Now, you told me, and it is true, but it is a little bit dirty on me.
Uh-huh.
But
I agree with you.
I volunteered for the Pacific, but I didn't want to go. And they're supposed to let us come back home.
Thought you was outsmarting them, and it almost backfired, didn't it?
You done got me off again.
I didn't get you off. You just off spirit.
Hey, but that's the truth. And I never would wear no guns with these German prisoners. And one of them told me he was going to come see me when the war was over. And we had an order there in our barracks. We slept right beside of it where we slept.
Don't quit. You start agreeing. Go ahead and tell her about it, Mike.
But I forgot now. But anyhow, what was it now? I'm going to have to get on another now.
Well, what was he talking about, right?
Right here is Bill Clinton.
Let me know.
All right, well, lower down. Let it go. So they're going to play it, and then everybody will know how you feel.
I guess we need a new president. I don't like Hillary and I don't like Clinton. They lie too much. I'm going to tell the truth. That's why I feel about it.
That's what they want you to do. Tell them how you feel about the government
I
today.
think we need a Republican president. Things will be a lot better. And Gore ain't much different than him and Clinton. And Hillary, she's worse than both of them put together.
Tell them what you really, the little thing that you really find about the boy.
He's just a puppet. Gore ain't nothing but a puppet on my side. When Clinton pulls the string, he puppets. That's exactly the way I feel about it.
But you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, whenever the president's making a speech, you know, you can hear it go, but the whole outfit, if you don't believe it, you listen. Next time when they clapping, you can still go every time he claps over the whole crowd. And I just think we need another president.
Well, I am never claimed to be either Republican or Democrat. But I gotta go Republican this deal. I voted for both in my time. But I'm just a regular man and I was still a Bush fellow later, so I don't know. Clinton hadn't kept his word too good. And I feel like Hillary should be a first lady instead of trying to be the president herself. Now that's truthfully how I feel.
And they should go ahead on the Whitewater
But I'm like,
and go ahead and
those
try, see
moral man. What?
They come out on Whitewater.
Whitewater?
Yeah.
Well, what, you think they're guilty?
Yes, sir, I think they're guilty.
How guilty?
Guilty enough to stick them, or whatever you want to call it. How's that there guilty? This is guilty as we sit here in this chair. So, getting off in politics now, I ain't no
That's what they want you to talk about. They want to know how you feel about it. And now is a good time to tell where you can be heard.
Another president. We're gonna be worse than we've ever been in our lives. Just wait and see. And I never have voted a Republican ticket. I vote as much Democrats as I have Republicans.
But
I'm not
you
a
are
Republican, but I am more Republican. I vote for the man. Regardless. I vote as much Democrat as I ever have Republican. But you sure better change this thing up now.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about our government and who is head of our government. I really and truly think of that just like I do the Bible. In my religion, I fully, really think and try to do my very best and vote for the best person regardless of whether it's a Democrat or Republican. But I tell you, I truly think our government's in for trouble. But I hope it will be.